is our busy season, so keep your eyes open and keep your ear to the ground. And let me talk to you a little bit about some diligence you have to have when you're dealing with this stuff. If you have a house you're about to list and it's already been prepared, do your homework, guys, because the buyer will probably do their homework also. This is an unregulated industry, so this is very, you have to be very careful about this. This is an unregulated industry. When you have that, that means anybody can start a foundation company and come out and they make it look real simple. Oh, we'll push gears, we'll pick this up, we'll do that. But there has to be a lot more accountability for that. There's a little bit of regulation with the cities. They require a permit. They don't hire any inspectors to do the inspection for that city permit. So what you have to do is have a third-party inspection, and that comes via a licensed structural engineer. The engineer comes out, confirms that the repair plan makes sense to them also. The company executes that repair. The engineer is supposed to come back and reevaluate what they did. I don't know how many of you have been through a foundation evaluation or seen repairs before, but having two sets of engineering reports showing the differences from before they did the work and after is the most important document you will have regarding that warranty. For us, we promise you that if anything that we do to the house settles down a quarter of an inch or more, we'll be right back out to adjust it for free, for life. But every company says lifetime warranty, and that's not just the lifetime of the house. You ever thought about the lifetime of the company backing it up? That's a big deal. Right now, it's almost every day I come into a house where a company no longer in business or kind of voids warranties for silly reasons. You know, they installed the piers on the house, first time the customer called them back, we voided your warranty, you don't have gutters. But they installed that work without gutters. So it's a lot of nonsense out there in this unregulated industry. I just want you guys to kind of have a little bit of information on how to get ahead of that problem. If you have a buyer, you're going into a listing and you see some problems, don't let the buyer make that decision, you know, unless you agree with them and the company that they picked. Because then your person is stuck with that lifetime warranty, quote unquote. All right, and that can be a big deal. They usually want to pick the cheapest company, and there are companies that can do it for half of what we charge. But part of that savings is no engineering reports, no city permits, no plumbing tests. Another thing that goes hand in hand with operating a really good company is having employees and no subs. Right now there are tons of companies that do not employ their workers. There's a lot of crews running around where the guy in charge of the crew is the boss of that crew and no one else is his boss. He executes something that someone else brokered for him to do. So it's a lot of inconsistent quality, no insurance on those guys while they're at the property, whereas our guys are employees and they're covered by workers' comp. That's really important if someone gets hurt, and it has happened in the industry. Someone breaking their leg. One guy died crawling underneath a wet pier and beam when he got electrocuted. You know, it's important to have the right insurance and the right training when you're dealing with this stuff. Now, when I talk about the lifetime of the company, I want to tell you something else. Some of you probably already heard this. We are the only employee-owned and operated foundation company. That's a big deal. Me being here 14 years, that was a great deal for me. So if that gives you any peace that we will be here, please pick us to do this job for you. Our evaluations are free. 30% of my evaluations end up in no work being recommended. A little less during this time of the year. But during the rainy seasons, there's a lot of movement that typically shifts the house around, but it's not breaking, and you might get a little crack, but that's what we call normal seasonal shifting. So if there's nothing wrong with your foundation, we'll be happy to tell you that. But if there is, listen to us. We're all very well trained. We're all out here to do the right thing, which is our company motto. Does anybody have any questions?